Greetings, Patrick here, 8 Questions with, and welcome to the show. Wow, 6 shows in 5 days. Yeah, that's been quite a pull for us, but we are here at the finish line, and we will be talking to our friend Spooky Kisses. She has finally come back for a visit, and we cannot wait to bring all their adventures to you guys. They have done so much since they were here last time. They came in on episode 99, and here we are on episode 432. So there has been a lot to talk about between then and now. Very successful, a hardworking young lady and her husband. A great team, and they have done a wonderful job of creating a show that has been really well received. They are now in pre-production for the third season. They've already had 2 seasons of Spooky Kisses Haunts. It aired on Amazon. Both of them aired on Amazon Prime, and did very, very well. They were there for quite a while, and now we get to see them here on Tubi. You can catch them on Tubi as well. And yes, it's a lot of it's we've been talking about this show and been telling you guys how through the other cosplayers that we've talked to, when we talked to Vale and we talked to the Variant, um, that it's not a surprise to see that haunts have become super popular right now. Um, they're no longer just pay $5, walk inside of an old warehouse with a smoke machine and a couple of people dressed up in pillowcases and broomsticks trying to scare you. It is a pretty Halloween has every year it seems to get bigger and bigger, and haunts are a big part of that. Uh, hey, Anthony, how are you? How are you? Gary, welcome, welcome. Yeah, and Casey is here. Spooky, that's right. Now, if there is only some way to tie Spooky Kisses Haunts with our very own Spooktacular, man, could you imagine what that would be like, right? Um, but the haunt business has, as well as the cosplay business, especially tied to Halloween, has really risen every year. It's gotten more and more popular. The haunts, the attractions are more involved. They're well more. They're just professional. People go there and wait in lines, just like going to an amusement park. In some places, you have to sit there and wait for line to get into the place, and you have to wait there for a little bit. um, we saw some of that action when we were talking to Joe Lujan, who was on the show, and we were talking when he was filming his movie Rust 3. He was talking about how popular the haunt was, very popular, and there's a lot of people around dressed up and what have you, and so so Spooky Kisses will has been going around to the various haunts on the East Coast, checking out the various haunts. And I can tell you because I saw her production schedule from last year. Insane. I mean, it's insane. Yeah, I was like, I was really impressed with the fact how they're just driving up and down. Then to get there, then they have to get to the hotel room. They have to they have to prep all their equipment. Meet up with the host of the haunt. Go ahead and just shoot the show. Maybe I think they're there an average of 2 to 3 days. I could be wrong about that, but we'll find out. But I think 2 or 3 days could be longer. Then they have to pack up all the stuff and then dash off to the next place while trying to edit what they've already shot. But it's so worth it. The shows are amazing. There's 2 seasons. They've done 2 seasons of the show, and it's amazing. It's so much fun. You can definitely tell there's a lot of joy in what they do. Hey, Wilkies, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, it's been a while since we've had spooky kisses here. Like I said, it was episode 99, so that has been quite a bit. So we thought we were going to be talking in last fall, but their production schedule just could not allow that. So they've been furiously busy. So, and I do believe that when they get here, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to do a dual stream for this one, which means that they're not only are they going to be here, but they're going to be streaming to their fans on Facebook. They have a Spooky Kisses Haunted Facebook group, and it's over 87,000 people in that group. 87,000. So hopefully, if they are watching this when Spooky comes on, I do hope that they will be welcome, and I hope they will enjoy the show. And much like I'm glad you guys are here, and I hope you enjoy the show too. Feel free to share us out, and that will help us as well. Hit the like button, and any upcoming shows that you see that I have listed, I've put a couple more up. I'm going to be putting more up later tonight. Hit the notification. It says notify me. Hit that button. Hit the notify me button. So when I do go live, you know it, and then you guys can come over and hang out. All right. So we only have two more shows for the month. One is the ISC Midnight Show on Sunday the 20. Let me go back here. That's right. Got to break out the calendar, right? The On the 28th, we'll be talking about Rust Creek. So we can join me, Whore with Hoss, Cadaver Glove, Ben, and the Sassy Mary Wilson. They will be here on the 28th, and we'll be talking about. All right. Yep, no problem. No problem. And Rust Creek will be is ISC Midnight, and we will be talking about that on Sunday at 8 o'clock. The last Sunday of every month is the ISC Midnight Show, and so we'll be talking about Rust Creek. And then on Tuesday the 30th, we close out the month by welcoming in full strength the Friendly Man will be here. That means Jonas, James, and Ant from Ant Review Things. And speaking of that, if you guys did not see it, highly recommend you guys go back and watch last night's show, uh, where we interviewed Sex Dream, the punk rock band from Chicago. We had so much fun on that show. Holy cow, that was a fun show. That was a fun one. We were joined by the Friendly Men for that show. Two-thirds of them anyway. We were joined by James and Ant, and we had so much fun with them, with Kurt and Maria and Andrew. Super nice people. And and it was really cool because we're talking about cover bands, so cover songs. A lot of bands at the end of a set, they'll do a well-known cover. And for Sex Dream, one of their covers that they end their shows with, during an encore, is they do the Meow Mix song, which absolutely just blows me away with fun. That's so much fun. um so if you guys missed it last night, by all means go ahead and take a look at that. And I also started a new playlist. I started two new playlists on the channel. One is Eight Questions With, and that is in the UK. So it's all of our interviews that we've done with the artists and personalities from Great Britain. They have their own playlist now. So you can go watch our interviews with Kelly Goody and Rick Malin and Danny Thompson and very sassy Tiffany Ellen Robinson. And then I also created a new playlist, the Eight Questions with the Musicians. And that includes anybody that's been in a band, a singer, a songwriter. Yeah. So anything that has to do with live music, band wise, you can go ahead and check that out as well. That'll save you the time. That'll save you time to look for those particular interviews if you want to see them more than not. All right. Uh, I'm really surprised that there's 8 people here already. I really thought about, it's today's the NFL draft today, and but we're out here, we're running. We are running. I know that Grande's Graveyard is running at 8 o'clock tonight. and I believe Sledgehammer Horror is out there running tonight. We're all football fans. I think our thoughts out to our good friend Hobbs, who is currently on the disabled list. But I think that he will be watching the draft today. He might be the only one watching the draft today. Um, and so, yeah, I didn't know if anybody would be here. I thought everybody would be dashing on over. Mr. Dan is going to be live at 10 tonight. All right. So, yeah, I heard. Yeah, that's right. The no midnight hour tonight, boys and girls. The midnight hour has been canceled for tonight. But Mr. Dan, from Mr. Dan Horror, will be up at 10 o'clock, and I can't wait to see what he has to offer. Um, Hello, Betty. How are you? How are you? Welcome to the show. We are talking with Spooky Kisses from the Spooky Kisses Haunts, and she is our very special guest tonight, and they will be here shortly. And I'm glad you guys are here. All right. Um, so, yeah. Anyway, it's sort of a sort of sad news a little bit, but I'll tell you the story real quick if I can. Um, so I watched this. I used to watch this TV series. You guys might have seen some of it. It was a series based on Jesse Stone. Jesse Stone was played by Tom Selleck, and it was a series that was created by Robert Parker, who created the Spencer series. And it wasn't a weekly series. It wasn't a weekly series. It was just a bunch of made-for-TV movies. There's like I think 9 of them. Well, on the show, as he plays a police chief in Massachusetts, and every once in a while he needs to go to Boston to get some help from a gangster named Gino Fish, and so that's what happened in just about every movie that Jesse would go down there, on there they always had this really beautiful, elegant actress who played Gino Fish's secretary, and just absolutely a stunner. And you can see Jesse and her are always sort of they're always sort of flirting. Well, her name is Christine Tizard, who played the role, and it's funny because when I first started doing the interview series, you always make up a list of people you want to talk to. So I made up my list, and Christine Tizard was one of the people I wanted to talk to. Well, I approached her, and at the time, and she was not really acting at the time, but she was doing a cooking. She was actually doing cooking. She was clean cooking and using everything in your kitchen, and very healthy, very healthy. And I went to ask her for an interview, and she said, you can talk to my manager, and I did. And I guess at that time when I did it, it just wasn't. They didn't think it could benefit them, so they passed working with me. But it happens, right? You ask. The worst thing they can tell you is no. So, but I still enjoyed watching her content very much. And I did notice that all of a sudden her content sort of stopped. It wasn't coming out anymore. And it was one of those things where it's like, I notice it, but it's something that you really just jump on it like, "What happened? What happened?" It was just it was you just maybe she got something else to do, maybe she gave it up, maybe she went back to acting, there's all various things could happen in life. Well, today, on our Instagram page, it came to be that Christine Tizard, a very young, a very vibrant wife and mother, um, has a very, very serious brain tumor. And okay, I'm going to continue the story, but let me go ahead and get Spooky in here because she is here.
Hello.
Hello. I'm gonna finish my story real quick. I
Yes,
was just
please
talking
do.
about the
I was listening to it.
um so it's in it popped up on her Instagram feed that she had a GoFundMe out, and then you go to GoFundMe, and then you read about how really seriously ill she is. It doesn't look good. Um, but all I really wanted to do, the whole point of this was to is to wish her the very best to her and her family. I enjoy her. I mean, if you go back and watch her in these movies I was talking about, man, she stood out. You know, she's one of those actresses that's when an actor during a movie they stand right out and you go like, who is that? And that was Christine Scissor. Um, Sort of like with you when you go to your haunts. I'm sure you notice special individuals right
Oh,
away.
yeah. There's just and you find out usually after talking to them and everything, you go, "Who's the rock star here? Who's the rock star?" And there'll be, like, 1 or 2 that are just standouts that are amazing, and you go, "Wow, what a talent," you know?
Uh,
So, that's you yeah, there's standouts. How
well,
are you?
I am so glad you're here tonight.
Thank you for
This
having
has
me
been a lot.
again, the 2nd time. A lot has happened in 2 years, so
Oh my gosh, yes. You guys have had such a fun ride. Exciting, very
it
exciting.
it's, yeah, I mean, we got on Amazon, and that was a really good thing, but the only thing is because we're new and we're also independent, people have to pay for the episodes. So we usually put it on Amazon first, and then when the whole season is done, it goes up on Tubi. So once the whole season is ready to go, they won't let you do it one by one like they do Amazon. So that's basically how it goes. But what we're really trying to do, and last time your show gave me a lot of good luck. Like a lot of the things that I said I wanted to do happened. So I'm hoping that it brings me good luck again if I like say different things that I really want to happen.
Well, you do have the power of the lucky cheetah in your corner. That's right. The cheetah does grant luck. He is very fluffy and very magicful. Yeah,
Magical cat. Yeah, 'cause last
that's right.
time I was like, I want to do Penhurst Asylum. We did it. And it's really hard to get into because they really don't they'll let you talk on the outside, they won't let you film on the inside, but they let us film on the inside, which was really cool. And then
No,
we got Brighton Asylum, and I wanted that, and I did say Netflix, we got Amazon, it's close. Not quite Netflix, but, but we got that, so I feel like if I keep saying stuff, then it will happen.
yeah. We will see. We will keep saying Netflix for season 3 in the hope that will happen.
I think that now because we have a sales agent, and so she's trying to get us on the Travel Channel or Discovery. Now I don't know if that's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
happen, but that would be so great because it's not streaming. It's just like somebody could be in a hotel room in their underwear, just flipping channels and stuff like that, and then we come up, and that would be awesome. Because my goal is to make the show like Pawn Stars or um, American Pickers or Ice Road Truckers or so people that don't even go to haunts, that don't even know what it is, go, wow, this is weird. People do this as for a living. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. I want
And
to make it.
I do believe you're all well on your way to doing that
I
because
hope so.
I don't know anybody doing what you're doing.
There are some on YouTube that are doing it. It's and they do a great job. It's just we have, I think, come the farthest as far as getting on Tubi and Amazon and different platforms and stuff like that. So I feel good about that. Not saying that they couldn't do it in the future. They probably will. They might catch up. There's some other people like Scare Factor and the Grims and people like that. And there's a guy we were talking yesterday, remember? And you said I should interview people, but there's a guy that does that called a Haunt Informer. So there are people that do these things, but they're usually on YouTube.
Yeah,
So
though, but there's other people that do what I do. I'm not the only interviewer on here by any means, obviously. But it it all depends what you bring to the party. And
right,
the thing about it with you is that you do have 2 seasons of Spooky Kisses Haunts underneath. You do travel. I mean, you are
yeah.
out there. And so and if you decide to me, like you and I were talking yesterday, I personally think in between seasons, or just as a way to continue to stay out there, I think you'd be a terrific interviewer. I think you do really well.
I'd like to do it, but I think have you ever seen that show where Bill Maher sits there and they drink and it's kind of relaxed and they're there in the same room and they're drinking and they're just talking about whatever. That's what I'd like to do. So it wouldn't be, I mean, this is cool and it's your you know, how you do it. And I just don't, this is only the second time I've ever done a live. So I'm like, you know, a little bit, I don't know. So what do you want me to tell people how I know you and stuff like that? So
Sure.
hopefully we
Yeah.
have other people watching.
Yeah, we
So
do. We are doing really well right now. And welcome to everybody that's just now coming in, both on Spooky Kisses Haunts Facebook page. Thank you. I see you, Brandon, out there. Brandon Sutton. Welcome to the show. And to our own chat here, I see that Stephen is here and he's saying, "How are you doing?" And Michael James Menard is here, film director Michael James Menard, and he will be here next month. And
oh,
Joshua, how are you, sir? Glad you're here. Share us out if you will. Share us out. That helps. Hey, Eric, how are you? All right. Um, yeah, go ahead and tell the people how we met.
well, in the beginning, you know, I was just trying to do YouTube, and it's really hard to. The hardest thing about YouTube is you constantly got to put things out, and if you're editing and your editing takes too long, you can't put out 3 things a week. But that's what I sort of wanted to do. But you know, when you're trying to get subscribers and you go around, you're like, you talk to people and you beg them, oh, if you had me, I'll let you like, and, you know, so I was talking to all the horror people, and you guys have a tight community, you know, and you're one of the horror reviewers, and you do that as well, besides interviewing all kinds of actors and actresses and movie producers and you know, all kinds of people, you know, models and cosplayers. You interview all kinds of people, but you also do, you know, you also review, and you do the midnight. What is it called? Midnight.
What? Let's see. We did the midnight when I think when you were here, we were doing the Midnight Society. We're trying to get that back up and running. But right now we're doing 8 questions with, and then we're doing a new thing that I'm doing. It's called doing Have Cheetah Will Watch Party, and
Oh,
we
cool.
do yeah, we do it once a month, and we invite filmmakers to come in. We watch their movie, and then they talk to us about how the movie was made. In fact, Michael Menard, who's in our chat right now, he will be our next filmmaker that's coming in May, and we'll be watching his film, and we'll be talking it with a couple of members of the movie. So yeah, it's sort of like it's a lot of fun to go behind the door.
You're a great talker. I mean, you know, I sort of forgot. Like I was talking to you on the phone yesterday, and you just really hold attention. You really have a lot to say. And also, oh, seeing you shouted out to somebody, I might as well shout out Brandon Sutton. He has worked with us. So even though we're independent and everything, he's an what did FDT say? FPV pilot, which is like a drone pilot, but they have little drones that go inside the haunt, so they can get, instead of just the big ones that go outside that shoot the outside of the buildings and stuff. So he's very talented. They wear the glasses like this, almost like a video game, and they're like, you know.
And they go inside the haunts themselves.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's a
And it's
skill
hard.
right there.
It's
That's
hard.
yeah.
You know, because you could crash and ruin your drone. So yeah, he's very talented. So shout out to
Wow.
you, Brandon.
Uh, hey, John, how are you? How are you, John? John from Doomsday Crypt in the house. Glad you're here, sir. Glad you're here. Um, thank you for the kind words. I just my motto has always been, and I'm sure our motto are probably much one and the same, and that is, we'll talk to anybody who'll talk to us, right? I mean, when
I
you
don't
go
know.
out there, really,
Just kidding.
have you had any scare actors or cosplayers? Have they been camera shy
Yeah.
when you
Oh,
talk?
yeah,
Yeah,
'cause yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's some that are fantastic, and, you know, just, and I could think of a few, like, off the top of my head, but I don't wanna insult anybody who I'm not saying, but there's some that are really great, and there's some that are just so shy, you know? I mean, they feel comfortable in scaring people or shouting at people or whatever, but they're just, when you go to talk to them, they're kind of awkward and stuff like that, and, you know, and you just kinda go, "Okay." I mean, really, it's the haunt owners that give us most of the information, and they take us around their haunt and they say how they started and how they got there and why they do it and how come they wanted to do it. But it's basically the haunt actors give us the sound bites that just say weird stuff, you know, and that's the fun part. They're the fun
yeah.
part.
I am blown away from the last time you and I talked till today, because it is. I mean, the haunts and cosplay and scare actors, it has blown the hell up. I mean, I've been saying that ever since I've been announcing the show. You and I will be talking tonight. I just keep thinking about all the different people we've talked to. We talked to cosplayers on here, and we've seen it. You know, we've seen people in the community go out to different haunts or go to conventions or what have you, and they see these ton of cosplayers. Cosplayers are now being considered guests at conventions. You
Hmm.
know, I mean, that's what's really blows me away. Before they used to walk in, pay their money to go through the door, just like the rest of us, and then walk around in their costumes. Now the conventions are calling them up, saying, "Hey, can you come down and hang out at my convention? You know, we'll give you a table, we'll give you your own space. You can keep whatever you make."
Yes, some
It's
of them are
amazing.
stars, some of them are complete stars, but it's funny in the haunted attraction world, like some haunts pay their haunt actors, and some of them don't. Some of it's volunteer, so it just sort of depends which one you go to. But it's kind of funny, and I shouldn't say this, but some of the coolest ones don't pay, I guess because they don't because they know how cool they are, and people will work there for free because it's so cool. So, they'll just, get that.
But you gotta bring a game. You gotta bring an A game to it now.
That's
I
true.
mean,
I
I
don't have the
mean,
energy. It seems like they've dressed me up on the show as a hunt actor a couple times. I never know what to do.
mm,
I'm always like, like I look really scary and everything, but I'll just be like, oh, I don't know. And I want them to tell me what to do, but they're so been doing it for so long, that job for
right.
so long, that they just sort of think it's commonplace. Like everybody, it's like I don't know, like.
Like when you look at yourself after you're done, look at yourself after you're done, you sit there and go like, just have you just been blown away by the skill of the makeup
Oh my
people?
god. There's
Yeah.
so many talented people, like the makeup artists, like in some, you know, Laurel's, House of Horror comes to mind. Their makeup is insane. I mean, they are so good. And I just they use an airbrush, in case of the people that don't know, and it's just really, really great. And not only that, the scenery, just there's so much art is, in this whole profession. They just do a great job. I mean, from the actors to the owners to the set builders, it's amazing. Amazing what they can do. Did you watch, I don't know if you had time because you're a busy guy, but I had sent you over Markov's Haunted Forest, and they have like a whole Viking ship in the
Yeah.
water.
I caught that. I
And
caught a little bit of
oh, you a
that.
little bit, because you didn't have to watch the whole thing. I just figured you could just skim through. But they have a cowboy town. I mean, they have like, it's amazing. Like you were saying, it's not just strobe lights and sheets anymore, and you know, like it's really come a long way. It's no longer $5 to get in, like you were saying. It's like it
No.
could be like 80. It's like, say if they have 4 attractions, it's like 20 for each one. You
Right.
know, but
And
they're
they're
only
all and they're
open
all and
6 weeks a year.
they're all so well done. I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's like walking aside of a working
movie
movie.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the skill level now, like I said, when I went to, I'll tell you how old I am. When I used to do, the haunts, what they call haunts, it was just basically like a warehouse and a couple of smoke machines and some people weren't walking around with a couple of masks, and it just, it wasn't, people come there and then you would never hear any screams, there wouldn't be any scares, there wouldn't be, it was just you walk through, it was just, sometimes the best thing would be is you made it to the end of the the little tour, and you got a little bag full of candy. Today,
Oh, they gave you that? They don't give you that anymore.
today, haunts are a big business,
Oh, yeah, it's a
and no,
multi-million dollar business, and don't
yeah,
be fooled. Do you see these guys? And they just have like baseball hats, like you have or like whatever, and they're like millionaires, these guys. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And it's crazy to me. The whole profession is crazy to me. And we fell into it because I don't know. I think I might have told you this story before, but I'll just tell you real fast for the people that don't know. We didn't plan to do haunts. We didn't set out to do haunts. What happened was we were doing kind of like YouTube, and we are sort of doing a travel show. So we thought, let's go to Salem, because I live in New Hampshire. It's not that far away. drove over to Salem, and it's kind of like, it was really hot. It was super hot, and it was, and Rich got the great big camera on his shoulder, huge like news camera, and we're dying, and we're like, oh my god, it's so hot. What are we shooting here? What are we doing? And I make fun of stuff because I'm kind of like a wise ass. And we were outside this little tiny, kind of like what you were saying, tiny little haunted attraction. It's like a storefront. And it had like, some animatronics in the front. And I was kind of making fun of it, telling wise jokes and being a jerk. And this girl goes, come here, shoot in here, come here, film in here. So we're like, all right, I guess. And that's how it all started, because it was a little tiny haunt in Salem, and called the Witch's Dungeon. And this girl's name was Destiny, which is even weirder. And ever since then, it was like, so when we got home, the only footage that came out was that footage from that haunt. So we're like, all right, I guess that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to put up. And then after that, we started calling around haunts, and we called Haunted Overload. And I was living someplace else, so I never heard of it. Because if I was living up here, I would have heard of it. But I didn't. It's in Rich is like, I think it's pretty big. So I'm like all nervous, and I'm like on the computer, like learning about the owner, Eric Lowther. I'm like, what's he all about? What's he all about? And we went there, and then we that was our second show. So that's kind of how we all got started. Because people always say, oh, are you copying this one or that one? No. It's just, that's just how it started.
Honestly, I didn't know anybody else doing this other than you. Now I know about the Ghostbuster shows, and there's some people that do ghost shows. There's Ghost Girls that shot a pilot episode. I thought that was going to be hit the series by now, but I guess it hasn't. But and we talked to Sarah Nicklin from that show, but it never, as far as I know, it was a pilot, and then I heard it was going to get picked up. But it was totally different from what you're doing. You're not doing that. You're going around showing the
Yeah, not
building
real good.
and the attraction.
It's so easy to fake that, isn't it? It's so easy to fake that,
Oh, the
with the camera
Ghostbusters
work
show?
and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so even though I sort of do, I mean, I go both ways. Like, I sort of believe in it, and then I sort of don't. Because you think, well, do penguins have ghosts? If your mind starts going into that, and you start thinking about like all the planets and stuff, you start to like question yourself. But okay, I kind of believe in it, but then I feel like it's really hard to film. So that's how come we ended up. And it's really interesting. It's really, really an interesting genre. It's really an interesting business. I mean, if you were to tell your mother, like, say you were a guy, or not a girl, because there are girl hunt owners. So say you were going to your parents, and you go, okay, hey, I'm going to open a business that's only lucrative 6 weeks a year. Your parents would be like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
That's stupid.
Right.
What are you doing that for? But it does really well. I mean, not in all cases though, just like everything else, right?
No, you look at. I mean, I'm thinking about some of the. I remember there's one company out there. I still think they're out there. I'm not sure, but they're called Serbius, and or something like that. And every October they would come out there. They were like the biggest attraction. Everybody, I mean, they put out the flyers, and the little stacks there. $5 off if you bring this flyer in. But and they would be in a two-story building for the most part. Like Dungeons of Doom on the top floor. Dungeon of Hell on the bottom floor, something like that. And but it was pretty well done for what it was. But I'm sure it's nothing what it is like now. I'm sure today's haunts, especially the ones that aren't people. I don't think people really want to be stuck in a two-story building. They want
No,
to. They want to get out there and go to like 4 different areas. I sort of equated it to almost like an amusement park.
sure. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, yeah. And then some of them say, like Markups, if you want to hang out there, they get a bar. How great is that? That's like, not all of them have bars because they don't have a license and stuff. I can name only 2 that I can think of that have bars. But yeah, they have that. They have like big fire pits and food and everything. Some of them have incredible food, like Night of Terror. I mean, they have like a crazy menu, like shrimp scampi and all kinds of stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? This is a haunt, you know. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's fun. I really like it, but it's also sort of exhausting that people don't realize, because when we go to film, we don't just go through.
Y
We are there for like 3 days.
Yeah, I was saying that before you got here, how I said that, we were trying to set this up for last fall, but I
Mhm.
saw your schedule,
Oh
and there's
god.
no
It was
way in hell
crazy.
that was gonna happen. You guys were on the road, you're going this way, that way,
30
this way, that
days,
way.
30
It was
days.
Oh
30
my gosh.
days on the road, we didn't go home, you know?
No.
And so
Mm,
this year's gonna be, like, a little bit easier. I guess. Oh, so I'll just say that I really, really wanna do Ohio, because that's supposed to be one of the ones that has the most. And you know who told me that was, Mr. Hobbs over there, because I don't know if he's still in the
that's
chat.
right. That's
But
right. Hobbs Horror, King of
yeah, Hobbs
the
Horror.
yeah,
So I
King of
really, really wanna do that, because my dream is to go to Dent Schoolhouse. I really wanna do that one. And I would like to go to the Hoochie one, but I don't think we can film it, because it'd be too dirty. It's like X-rated.
oh,
It is. It would be bleeping and putting black things over stuff, the whole thing. But it would be really fun to do if we could get away with it. But I'd also like to go to Florida. That's another option, because it's like King Henry's Trail, and they actually contacted us, and we thought, well, that'd be kind of cool, because we could go drive down to Florida, have like a vacation, right?
right,
And then
right.
also do different hunts in there. And there's one in Hawaii, but I don't know the name of it. That would be awesome. I would love that. Do the Hawaii
Let me
one.
catch up with the chat with everybody. I
Yeah.
want to comment that the people are commenting on Facebook. And thank you, Bear, for running that side of things with us today. I appreciate that very much. To everybody who's watching from Spooky Kisses Haunts on Facebook, welcome to the show. I appreciate you, and glad you're here. Go ahead and feed your questions through, and we will get to them as best we can. Uh,
Don't make
and
them
I
too
want to
hard.
see, Gary says, hello, Spooky Kisses. He's now
Hello.
following you on all your social media and YouTube
Aw,
channels. That's
aw.
amazing. Thank you so much. He says he's also addicted to watching your shows.
Oh,
So
that's so nice.
I get that. I get that. And we put if you want to join the army that is Spooky Kisses, I put the link on top there where you could go there and join them on their Facebook page. They have over 87,000 souls on there. So
Yeah.
jump on in there and be part of that army. That's right. And Steven says, "Love your rock star image." Hell yeah, it is a rocking outfit tonight. Let's see. Don Zombie's in the house. Yeah, sloppy hand hearts for everybody. From Don
Ooh.
Zombie. All right. Yes. And Steven says that she thinks that you have Screen Queen tattooed on. She's had that. She definitely has earned that cred for sure, Steven. Now, last time you and I talked, none of this had happened really.
No, they
So
only put out. I
we
made
need
you
to go
watch
back.
Kim's script, right, on YouTube. I forced you. I said, I'm going on, but you got to watch it, right? But we actually shot her again, filmed her. I don't like you to say shot. Uh, on these channels, they always like get mad at you. It's weird. But anyway, we went and filmed her again. That's going to come out in season 2. We got Reapers, then Kim's, then Brighton, and then the rest. So we have like 12 shows. That's why we're not going to film as much this year, because we sort of uh, a little overdid it. So we're going to film a little less this year.
No,
Not as
no,
many. And then.
it's each season 6 shows.
Uh,
Season one,
the
season
first
two.
season was 8 shows. And I think I I think that we may be 6 on 2 and 6 on 3, but we'll
Okay,
see how that goes. We're trying to do more, but the editing is intense. Like, how some people, and I'm not knocking it, that's cool, but they'll just shoot it and then just put it up there, right? But it
right,
takes Rich about 2 months to edit, because it's all, and he's a perfectionist, and the color's got to be right, and the sound's got to be right, and this little thing's got to be right. So he's like, he won't put it out there unless he really is, and plus he works a full-time job as well. So it's really hard for him to do it. But if you have film of us, don't worry. It's going out. We're not going to just go there and film you and not put it out. So don't worry. because we do have people call, when's it going to be out? When's it going to
Right,
be out?
right,
It's like, oh, guys,
right.
get me out. I promise. I promise.
It's probably gone to the point now where before it was you asking them, "Can we shoot you? Can we shoot you?" And that
Yeah.
and it has evolved over now to where it's
Yeah.
like now they see you
It's
and they say,
absolutely.
"Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me."
Yes,
And it's like,
absolutely. And we try to put everybody on a list and we're gonna try to get, to it and keep doing these seasons and stuff. Yeah, definitely. That's why they have this thing, Patrick, and I don't know if you know, it's called Trans World, and it's not what it sounds like. Trans World is no,
boy,
I mean it's just what it's always been called. It's been around for years. And what it is a huge uh you know what's the word for it, like thing where people go to buy all the animatronics and all the people that make masks and all the, but it's also a hang, like people get really excited and they have classes and everything, and it's huge. They have it in Las Vegas and they have it in Chicago sometimes, and um East Coast Haunters is another one, and it's these big, what do you call it, what's the word, conventions. Okay, conventions. Anyway, so we would go because they're really fun, but the point, but they're also exhausting, but they're really fun. And see everybody that we film with, and maybe hook up and meet people that we haven't filmed with yet. But because of the editing and the job and stuff, we haven't really had to, because people just write us and say, can you come film us? And it's just easier for us not to do it yet. We may do it now, not saying we won't ever go. And I've been to it a long time ago, because I used to sell Halloween costumes and stuff. So I've been to it and it's like, wow. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing in there.
now have you been invited to convention? I mean, I think now to the
Not
point.
to sign yet. And if they let me, okay, you guys at Trans World, if you're listening, I will go if you want me to sign stuff, but
Right.
that would be a reason to go. But for us to go just to film and put it on YouTube, where I know a lot of people do that, and it's great, but we just don't have the time, and especially the way
No,
Rich
no,
edits,
and you know
forget
what?
it.
And quite honestly, your show is elevated now. It's not just one of those that walks in there and does it.
Yeah.
You need to get paid for what you do because
Yeah,
you're
kinda.
still
I know it
you're
sounds
still you're
sad, but
skilled.
we all need that, right? Don't we? We all have to be able to pay our
Yeah,
rent and everything else, right?
but you guys are skilled operators. I mean, there's nobody else doing what
Oh,
you're doing.
Richard. I'm
There's
just the
really
jerk
nothing
with a
like that.
microphone, right, Patrick?
I mean, it's I admire you for what you do. I had total respect. I think it's awesome. And like I said, it's nobody's really doing it, and the business is really it's there for the taking because people are getting into Halloween. We keep saying
Yeah.
this. We say this every year. It seems like Halloween's getting more popular,
Yeah, it
but
is.
it really truly is.
Oh, yeah.
And the cosplay world is absolutely insane. Scare actors, before they were, now they're scare actors. And the thing about scare actors are they are starting to become in demand as well to do movies. Like they see people and they're doing a role at a haunt, and they'll go there. You know what? Have you thought about have you thought about doing a movie? I've talked to several actors here that has said that they have worked at haunts and have
Yep.
been spotted there. So
At
it is
Silver
it is
Screens, there's a guy, Steve Haymeyer, and he was in our show. He was great. He's a great talker, great personality. Shout out to Steve. I don't know if he's watching, but he's in a movie. They came to him at Field of Screams, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to be They recommended him. The owners recommended him to be a monster in this movie or whatever, and so he's in a movie. I mean, so yeah, you never know where things are going to lead you. You never know. I mean, you never know where one step is going to take you to the next step and all that stuff. You know?
uh, no. So how did it happen after you and I talked our first show? Um, because we were talking about this when you were here,
Yep.
but how long did it take you guys to put it together to draw out your itinerary? Did you
Ooh,
and Rich talk
the
about what we
itinerary
were
is
going to
hard. Let me tell you why the itinerary is hard. It's not hard because of the hunts. It's because we drive, because we have a lot of equipment, right?
do?
So it all has to be mapped out and scheduled, and so we can make it. So we could drive to each one and do that one, and drive to the next one, and it's not that far away, and we can do the next one. And yeah, that part's hard. And I it did take us that long to do what we needed to do. I think after I talked to you, pretty much after that, I think that's when Rich submitted Haunted Overload to Amazon. And when he was like, oh, I think it's like a 50-50 shot they're going to take us. I'm not sure they're going to take us, but we'll give it a shot. And they did. And they did. It took a little while for it to finally go up there. It took a few months, but they have like a rigid, a lot of these things do. It's like, so sort of like, and I'm not knocking it. And I wanted to keep clarifying that. I'm not saying whatever, but like when you do YouTube, so you do YouTube, you make a film or you make something and you could just put it right up. It's up there, you know,
Right.
but there's all these things that they want. There's like a, you know, they want to make sure that the sound is correct and the lighting's correct and this is correct and all these different things. So they make it really hard. And Tubi's really hard. Like even some people submit things there, and they used to be very easy and they would take anything, and now they're getting tougher and tougher who they
Yeah.
take and who they don't take.
Yeah. That's yeah. We've known that for a while about that. Um, okay, I'm gonna check here because I do think Gary just asked a question.
Okay.
Yeah, Gary wants to know. He wants to know. What's your favorite scary movie?
I like the classics a lot. Like I like Rosemary's Baby and The Shining and you know, things like that. I like a real story. I love Jack Nicholson. Um I would say those two probably. I used to love Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I watched it because it was shot beautifully and it was so pretty. I watched that movie so many times I could practically recite it, but I can't watch it anymore because I've seen it so many times. But yeah, I love horror movies. I tried to watch you know, the one with the haunted doll in the glass case. I tried to watch that, but I couldn't get into it, even though it's
Oh,
supposed.
Annabelle.
Yeah, I tried to watch Annabelle and I love the look of it and it's so creepy and everything, and dolls are really creepy. And
Yeah.
I bought the disc with the three of those movies together, right, on
Okay.
Amazon.
Yeah.
And so I tried. I really tried to get into it. And it was creepy. It was creepy, but I really like, I guess I really like the classics, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. It's funny because I'm pretty much everybody knows. Most of the people here know that I'm not the biggest fan of actually The Shining, the original Shining,
Yeah,
the one that Kubrick did.
the
But
original. Yeah.
I went to the library this week, and I actually found The Shining, the one they did after that, the one that Stephen King approved of. I actually found a copy of that at my local library.
How was it?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm very excited
Oh,
to. I just got it. I was just like, I didn't think I would ever find it. I've never seen it out in the wild before, and then I picked it up, and I'm like, "Oh, wow! This is the one that they made after Kubrick's Shining, and it follows the book." Um, so, who was the what was the first? Where was the first haunt that you filmed at for the series for the season
Oh, the
one,
very
episode
first
one?
is Haunted Overload. That we called it the pilot because we actually went back there again, and we're going to have a new one that's going to come out because we thought we could do better. Even though I think the first one's pretty good, but you know, we got a really excellent walk around with Nikki, and she is sort of like, I don't want to say a right hand man girl, or you know, but she knows a lot of facts, and she took us all around and she told us everything. And then Eric Lowther, I had an interview with him, and they do like, it's different there. It's like a fairy tale, you know, it's like a haunted fairy tale. There's pumpkins everywhere. They're all hand carved. Everything's man made, no animatronics, huge like structures, like a big skulls and stuff, like crazy. It's crazy in there. Um, you know, but it's more like beautiful, right? But
Right.
so there's all different kinds of haunts. Is that, and Markov's is kind of beautiful as well, the one I showed you. But then there's the ones that I really like that are gross. I like the disgusting, like, and they touch your head and they grab your ankle and they're like,
Right.
ew,
Right.
because they're
Right.
so good. Because those freak
But
me out.
now most of these haunts are family friendly, right? I mean, there are that are.
I
I mean,
don't know.
really.
I wouldn't take a little kid there. Like to me, they have nightmares forever. Like these, like the ones that I'm telling you that are really, really scary. Like Phil the Screams is all, it's gnarly, and Fright Farm, and my new one of my new favorites, and I'm going to shout out to Fright World, because it's inside a mall, right? So you
Oh,
wouldn't
wow.
expect it to be scary. It's inside like a mall, and they tear it all down and they put it in another mall like a Spencer's. But it's terrifying. Like I can't even look at those people. Like I can't even look at them. I'm like this the whole like they are so scary. Like I don't know why they're so scary, but they are
You know
so
what it is?
freaking
You know what
scary.
I think probably it is? You know why it was probably really scary for us is
Why?
because we came from
Yeah, we came from a
the
world of with this strobe
Dawn of
lights
the
and
Dead.
sheets.
Dawn of the Dead. We came from the Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, I love that movie, the old one, the black and white
Yeah.
one. That was really good. And
I
I
mean,
also love The Exorcist. I saw like when I was a little kid. I wasn't supposed to watch it, and I watched it, and it's terrified me. It still terrifies me.
uh, let me go. Let me see if I can scroll back. I'm seeing everybody saying hello to you here,
Oh,
and I want to go
hello,
back to
everybody. I'll just say hello, one big hello. I can't read it,
Uh,
so
yeah, let
Pat's
me
got
scroll,
to
I'm
read
gonna
it
scroll
for
back
me.
here a little bit. Let's see. Any questions? Yeah, thank you very much again, Rich, for that. Let's see. A haunted overlord best ever from Tommy, Tommy
Yeah,
Thunder
it's pretty damn
Tracy.
cool. It's
Thank you for
very,
that.
very popular. They sell out every year really early, and famous people have been there. Like Metallica went there, and Holly Madison from the Playboy thing, she went there. You know.
Let's see.
Oh, am I coming back to Brighton Asylum? No, we usually we love you guys, and your show's coming out. We've been working on it, and it's really good. It's killer good. It's going to be number 2 in the season, and the thing is that usually we can only do one time. Like the reason why we're doing Haunted Overload again is because we did it the first time, we thought we could do better. But what we want to do is try to go all over the place and go everywhere. But don't worry, I promise that you're going to love it when you see it.
Okay. There's some other folks that are coming in and saying hello. Richard Reyes. Hello, hello. Thank you.
Hello.
Let's see. Let's see. And let's see. Tommy says, "Come." Oh, okay. Tommy is saying, "Come visit our new haunt this year, Camp Chaos."
Okay. Oh, here's something that I want to tell you guys. Okay, so a lot of times the haunt actors, like a crazy clown or like a zombie or somebody, will write me and be like, "Come to my haunt." Okay, so what I always say, and I'm going to say it in front of all you guys, is what happens is the owner has to say okay. So
Yes.
the owner has to, like, what they have to do is go to our website, which is spookykisseshaunts.com, and right on the front page there's a thing that says film your haunt, and they got to read it, you know, and the owner. And then what they could do is email Rich, and then, he'll put you on a list and see if that all works out for logistics. No, it's not that we're not saying that we don't want to do it. We want to try to do all of them. But the problem is like logistics. Like, is it close to this one that we're doing this year and this one? So, yeah, but definitely tell the owner to write us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you how many owners have reached out to you to invite you guys to and what do you do if you did get an invite to Ohio, but then you got an invite to New York or Vermont or New Hampshire? I mean, how
Okay.
do you balance which haunt do you would you choose to go cover? Because you only got 6 episodes per year. So I mean the six haunts
Well,
that you guys.
we could do more than that. Like last year, we shot more. We shot 12, but then what problems is the editing. So what we'll do is we'll kind of like we will write it all down. Rich and I will discuss it. We'll look also at reviews. We go to Scare Factor. Shout out to Scare Factor because they have a website of like they've been doing this a lot longer than we have, and I've been looking at their website forever, and it says like what they like about it, what's good about it, what type it is. So we also look at Scare Factor's reviews, but we don't just base it on that. We will write it down, and if it doesn't work out, we just put them on the list for next year. We'll tell them, look, like there's a thing that this guy said that we talked to, and he said just because someone says no, it doesn't mean no. It just means not today. So
Right.
we just put them on a list, and we'll try
Right.
to get to them next time as much
Sure.
as we could.
And I'm sure any owner, any operator of a haunt that knows anything understands that. I mean, you can only be so many places at so many times. And once again, it's like you're being invited, but a lot of you have to take into consideration that it's you're driving to the location, you got
Yeah,
to carry all your equipment, you got food and gas to take care of. It's
yeah,
not necessarily it's like like you're not going to drop everything, get in the car, and drive to Colorado to shoot just one hunt.
right. Although I'd
Not
love to
without
go to Colorado,
not
I don't
without some
really know
help.
what's there, but I love
Right,
Colorado.
but but as long as it
Sure.
makes fiscal sense, then by all means. Because like last year when I saw your itinerary, I
Oh god,
mean,
it's killer.
yes, but it was very intense. But I
Yeah.
noticed it was a very small radius. Like
Yep, it
it was,
was like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, where else? West Virginia,
yeah.
um, you know, and I think what Michigan. Yeah, so it was right in that area like that.
Well,
Um,
where did you shoot at in Michigan?
what one? Oh, Detroit. Oh, Eloise,
Oh
right?
my God, I had no idea you were here.
Oh, I don't know you were there either. I don't even know
Yeah,
where you were at.
Eloise is the next town. It's the next town over from me in Westland.
Oh, okay. That was a while ago, though. That's a big one. That's a big fancy one. And we haven't
Yeah,
put that out yet. That's
but
Eloise.
there's
It's
not that many buildings. There's not that many buildings left, though.
what they did was they took an old insane asylum and turned it into into a a haunt, which always works out really well.
Oh yeah,
People
oh
like
yeah.
that because
They
it's already
came.
a building. Oh my god, we saw this old jail on Zillow. That would make a great haunt. And it wasn't expensive either, but it was in Georgia, but we can't afford it.
Oh,
I don't think I would want to do it. It's too much work. But if
it's a
somebody else wants
the,
to do it.
you mean running the haunt or
No, I'm
going
not
down
doing
there?
that. For one thing, like, yeah, I could do it for like a weekend, but then I'd be bored and I'd be like, "Oh, this sucks." Because it's a lot of work. Then you got to
It
build
would
all
be.
those sets and everything and then be in control of all those people, like, "Are you here on time?" and it's not like, I don't wanna do that.
Oh my gosh, I don't. Do you think though that now that people do you think that they're like I said the people that work the haunts now. I mean, it isn't just coming here and saying I'll volunteer. It's
Oh,
not
it's
enough
strict.
anymore. It's not enough anymore. It's almost like you have to audition to work at
Yeah,
these.
you gotta audition. You gotta audition, and there's like they have scare schools, even though one of them has a scare school, I think, filled with screams. But then whenever I talk to the actors, I say, "Hey, did you go to the scare school?" And they go, "No, I never went to the scare school." It's like, well, who's going to the scare school? But anyways, yeah, it's a lot. It's really they're like they come in. I know a lot of them do it this way. They come in, they get made up by a makeup artist. They'll have several makeup artists, and they tell them tell them what they're going to be, what they're going to wear. They go down to the costume area, and there's all this stuff hanging up, and they put the costume on. Then they get a prop, and they got to sign it out and then bring it back. And that's a Field of Screams I'm thinking of. And then at the end, they get like 2 slices of pizza that's cold. Oh, now the Field of Screams is gonna get mad at me now. But I
Yeah,
love
but
Field
you
of
know what
Screams, so
though?
don't take it badly. I love you guys. I love you guys. You guys are
Yeah.
excellent at what you do. So I'm
Oh
not
my God.
saying anything
But
bad.
I mean, I think a lot of people benefit from this. Boy, everybody's talking a mile a minute. Denise, yep. Denise says, I enjoyed having you here. I understand you must go to a lot of places. Stay spooky. Yeah, I can only imagine with every show that comes out, the demand on your time it's gotta be formidable.
It's sort
You
of
know,
like running a marathon. Like I'm gonna have to work out more before we go. Like because it's taxing on your body because you wake up. I'm not complaining, but you wake up really really early in the morning and you got to do get ready and stuff, and then you're there until usually till it closes or till close to closing, and then you wake up in the morning you got to do it again, and then you wake up in the morning you got to do it again. And not that I don't love it, I love it, but I think at the end of the 30 days, by the last haunts that we do, I'm a little bit bitchy. I'm like, oh
how
god,
many
I'm
hours
so
a day?
tired. I'm so tired. I miss my
How many
dog.
hours a day? How many hours a
Oh
day
god,
how many
we
hours a
get
day
there
do you
about
do?
yeah, we get there about 1 in the afternoon, and we stay till it closes, whether that be 9, 10, usually 10 o'clock at night, and we don't eat. We don't eat, and we sit down very briefly, like, and Rich is changing out camera rigs. He's got his haunt camera rig, this camera rig, that camera rig. Then he's doing drone. I'm talking to people. They got to sign release forms, and it's just the two of us. So
Yeah.
that's what's
And that's what makes it more impressive to me. I mean, that's what, it's so impressive that it's just you two and you guys are just kicking ass like this. I mean, you gotta love that.
we
Uh,
try
I
really
mean,
hard. If we just cross our fingers that we get like a platform that's like a I that's what I really would love. I would love to get on a platform like Discovery or Travel or something like that where we're just on like season after season, like, and I wouldn't care if they said, well, we like this, but we don't like this, and we're going to send you some other people, camera crew and stuff. Fine, go for it.
yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be the best, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I wonder how that would work. Would they, if they picked you guys up, would they tell you to go out there and hire extra crew, or I mean, it would be interesting to see how a show like yours, how much budget they would give you.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
okay,
know.
like we'll pay you to go to that haunt in
It would
Colorado
be
we talked
great.
about earlier. Yeah, but
It
why not? I mean, the demand is there. The demand is there. People want to see what you're making. They wanna see what
I
you're
don't
doing.
know what if you guys agree with me out there, but I'm kinda sick of the ghost shows. I mean,
Oh
they're good and
god.
everything, but God, it's kinda swamping the market, right? It's like all ghost shows all the time,
Okay,
like,
I'll say a hot take for you. I'll say this because I know you're probably thinking it, but I'm gonna say it. Man, I tell you the truth, other than Ghost Girls, because that show was actually pretty cool. But the ones that have just burned my ass, and let me ask the chat too, because I'm sure the chat has something to say about this as well. So all those ghost shows, they always go to the same places.
yep.
And they always go, and they always, oh my god, it's so bad. They always go like, "Did you hear that?" Or "What was
Yeah,
that?" Or "Oh my god." I mean, I could sit there, I could write their script in my sleep. My Cheetah could write a better script than those guys. "Did you feel that? Somebody's talking to me." And incredibly, they always make contact.
mhm,
You
every
notice that?
time.
Every time. It's like, gee,
It's like, "Really? Okay."
I've been trying to talk to my wife for 10 years. No, she hasn't said shit to me. Maybe I need to
And
get
she's
these
in the other
Ghostbusters
room. No,
here.
I'm only kidding. I'm just
I mean,
teasing. I
maybe
know, just teasing.
maybe I need to get these Ghostbusters because they always make contact. I just think it's just does it goes from, it takes basically what is a real thing, and it has basically dumbed it down to the masses. And I think the audiences are a lot more intelligent than what they're giving them credit for. The people that do believe in the supernatural and they do believe in ghosts and what have you, you don't need to treat them like a 5-year-old kid. Like,
I
yeah,
know.
you know, hey, if you go out there and you don't make contact, then you don't make contact.
Yeah,
But you can go and still look at, like, you still could talk about the history of the building. You could talk
yep,
about the history of the town. I mean, there's so much you could talk about and put it on the air that people are going to be fascinated about without you always having to make
yeah.
contact.
That's right. Well, I think the most haunted places I've been to 2 real haunted places for sure, and I can tell you that. Penhurst Asylum, that place is creepy. I mean, creepy, because that was a real asylum, and all the buildings are broken down, and you just get an odd feeling in there. Like, David, he's in the chat. Hi, David. I he works there. And I don't know how you can work there. Maybe you get used to it or immune to it or just the feeling. It's like a real weird feeling. Um, and also I've been to Gettysburg and that was haunted. And that's like you just get
Oh,
this overwhelming
yeah,
feeling of dread.
yes. Gettysburg is indeed
It's
haunted.
definitely haunted.
Yeah, 100%. That's probably truly the one place that I've ever walked on that I've actually felt that. I mean, I
Yeah,
really
don't you
felt
feel
that.
that? It's like
Yeah.
sadness, right? It's like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
I cried when I stood right where Pickett kicked off his charge.
oh
Oh
yeah.
my god. Yeah, I cried. I admit it.
We
I
did
mean,
a show on that, but we
it was
never finished
overwhelming.
it. We did like a documentary because nobody like we went to like the ghost people like that do the tours, and we said, "Hey, if we pay you, can we film it?" And they said no. So what? We don't want that. You can pay us, but you can't film it. So we said, forget it. So we ran around. Well, I ran around to every buddy, and I go, tell me a ghost story. Tell me a ghost story, right? And we filmed the whole thing, and it's kind of like it never got finished. It's sort of like half on YouTube, but not like it's not live. And Rich keeps saying he's going to do it because this other guy, he was really good. He was telling us about all kinds of history, and he was really awesome at it. And you'd be surprised, just regular people in a bar and everything, they all got a story. It's really awesome, like drunk ladies, and like, it was fun. It was really a good show, and we had all the scenery and everything and drone work, but we never finished it because we just didn't.
We have Richard T. Reyes says, will you be doing Not Scary Farm this year?
Ooh, I don't think we'll be doing it this year, but we will do it in the future. I don't think we can get there, because I don't think it's in the area that we're gonna be at. But we definitely will try to get to it. We will definitely try to get to it.
Gary says that he totally agrees with what we're saying. It seems like everyone, yeah, that would be, that would like to. I would actually like to see that, Gary, on one of those ghost shows where one of the hosts says something just pinched my ass.
Nothing. I don't feel nothing. I ain't got nothing here.
Let's see. Gavin says, Spooky was amazing. She was so sweet and nice during the interview at Pinhurst.
Ah, that's nice. Thank you so much.
Now, have you been in any places like that where you yourself were just like totally creeped out and got scared?
Penhurst. Yeah,
Penhurst?
That's the ghost thing. But yeah, as far as that, I don't want to be in that building. Like, you just have this feeling like, get me out of here. Like, it's really creepy in there. Honestly, it really is. It's really creepy. They had like 200 actors, Patrick. 200 actors there.
That's insane.
It's a big one. And you know what? Usually when we do a hunt, we go through like 3 times, right? And Rich walks backwards the whole time and he shoots me. And like people say to me, oh, you're faking it, you're not scared. But I don't even see him. I don't even notice him because he's waiting for, and he ain't gonna save me. He's not saving me. So, and I gotta go through by myself. And I'm like, oh my God, because I'm like a big scaredy cat, right? But anyways, at Penhurst, because they had so many actors and it's so big, we only had to go through 1 time to get that show. 1 time through the whole thing. We didn't go through 3 times like we usually do. That's it.
I wonder how many people actually that worked. I wonder how many of the scare actors that worked at. I wonder how many of them get spooked by the end of it.
I don't know, because they seem to get immune to it, and they say that the spirits try to help them out and everything. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. I would be freaked out if I worked there. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could work there. Just because it's really creepy. It's just so creepy in there.
I can imagine. I have never been to Eloise, even though I'm probably about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes.
That just opened not too long ago. It's by it opened not too long ago. What happened was this business guy bought the buildings, and then he was like, what am I going to do with these buildings? So he contacted the owner of Penhurst, and he said, can you help me? He said, well, like maybe start a haunt, because that's all he could think of to do with that building, because it was a asylum and stuff. And he was talking about putting a bar in there too. This was like about 1.5 years ago. So I'm wondering if he's done it already. I think it would be great if he did.
I will have to investigate that to see, because if they do a haunt out there, I will try to make a run out there in October and take a look at it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. They all this stuff is wicked expensive because the guy had like a big budget. So they just brought in the most expensive junk, like the most expensive animatronics, the most expensive stuff. Everything is like top of the line. So it looks a lot like Penhurst on the inside in a way, but not. So yeah, it's both of those. The multi-million-dollar haunts, those ones.
Let's see. Gavin said, let's see, I did that one. Let's see. Most haunted live. Most haunted live. Is that let's see. Gary says most haunted live. He didn't like that place. Let's see. Steven says, for Texas. Well, again, it's like one of those things where you have to get an army to write to the organizers of Texas Frightmare. You have to let them know about them. I mean, write them a letter, send them an email. You got 87,000 people in Facebook,
right?
Tell them, put out the this is what you can do. You
Yeah.
could actually do that. You can sit there and say any convention that you want to go to that's close to you. You just tell your people to write an email, write to the organizer saying we'd like to see
Yeah, that would
spooky
be
Christmas
cool.
month. Yeah, and if people here, if the organizers here, 4,000 people write and sit there and say we'd like to see them at your convention. Dimes, donuts to dollars that you'll probably be getting an invite.
That would
Uh,
be awesome. We have a huge following in Mexico lately. I don't know what's going on with that, which I think they get Tubi there. So that's pretty cool. So we have so people will write different things. I have to translate it. I'm like, I don't know.
Um, David's a scare actor from Penhurst. Says he's not scared at Penhurst.
Oh, you're
Their
not David?
residents were not bad, just misunderstood. So
Oh, right.
yeah, okay. So I
Yeah, I
mean,
know he is. He's an actor. He was in our show. He looks like a doctor. He plays a doctor, and he's very creepy because he really does look like one. One
now what is
covered in blood.
tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about some of the like you mentioned the owners are a lot of owners hands on their haunts. I mean, are they there every night watching the
Oh, they're
show?
there every night. Oh yeah. But hands on, it's fun when they still like to dress up and be scary. They still scare, like Kim Yates. And you saw her show. She's crazy. So she's here. Hey Kim. So she will dress up and she will go and scare. And that's a rarity. And I know that the guy from Fright Farm thought that was so cool. He was like, oh, Kim is awesome because she is one of the ones that will still do that. Because I think what happens a lot of times is when people first open a hunt, and this is just speculation, right? I think what happens is they decide, okay, I want to open a hunt. In the beginning, it's like really fun and more like crazy. But then as time goes on, they get into more of the business side of things, and it takes kind of the fun away for them. But yeah, they're hands on. They're there. I mean, I would say all of them are there all the time because they have to be, and they're checking on the actors that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're not, sleeping or, or something.
Well, it's sort of ironic to have a haunt, and you're right. I mean, it's sort of ironic to have a haunt, and have it get the bigger it gets, the more tiring it is for them. I
Yeah.
mean,
Then you get
it's like
trouble. You got like lawsuits, because somebody bumps their head or scratches their arm, and they get, I'm gonna sue because America's sue happy. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
That's
Kim is awesome. So I'm so happy you're here. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, her show's coming out. What we're thinking about doing maybe next week is like this. We did it for Reaper's Revenge. Is we put it out on you on for free on YouTube, so everybody that wants to see it just for that hour can see it. And the reason why we're doing that, it can't stay up on YouTube, is because, all right, so say it goes to Amazon and Tubi. If they see it on YouTube, they'll take it down. They won't let us do it. Or if we get to do Discovery or Travel Channel or something like that, as soon as you put it out, right? This is why we haven't put anything out yet for season 3. As soon as you put it out, it's considered watched. And then they don't want to take it. They'll be like,
right,
we can't take that now because we're not going to take season 2 because you already put it out. So
right.
what we did to sneak it is we did put out Reapers for an hour, and we're going to do that with Kim's too. We'll announce it and we'll make a big deal out of it and show stuff. But yeah, Kim, it's really good. I just want to tell you, it's a really good show.
Yeah,
And
it's funny. They take a page from the film world with that, and that is a lot of film festivals. That's what they'll tell the people submitting their films. It's like you can't have your film reviewed, you can't have it in press, you can't have anything where if I type in like XYZ reviews, I can't see anything there because we want to be exclusive to our festival.
yep,
And I really find that archaic myself,
it is.
it does a disservice to the movie. It's like, who gives a shit if it's been reviewed or not, or I mean, I can understand with television it's a little different because you're going to try to make money off that show because you're selling ad space to it. So I get that idea, and
Yes and no, but I agree with you. I think okay, if it goes on Amazon and say some people watch it, it's kind of like everybody's in their own little camp. Some people like to watch on Amazon, some people like to watch on Tubi, some people like to watch on, whatever other station they watch, Apple TV, which we're hoping to be, if we stay with the streaming, we're hoping to get on Apple and also on Hulu. But we're also on some other ones that are so small. I shouldn't say that in case they're watching, but they're kind of small, so I'm not even going to say them. But we're on a few other
Hey,
channels as well.
anywhere, any place where your eyes can be,
Yeah, I think that the more people that can, oh, what happened to Patrick? Oh, there he is. I think
that's a good thing.
wherever people can watch it, I think it's better. I don't think it's going to hurt anything if it's over here and then now it's over here. I mean, it's only going to be more eyes on it. It's not going to be the same people.
Do the owners get, I mean, is that what I mean, the ones that contact you or allow you to come with other property, are they, I mean, did they immediately sense that just because you're there, that their haunt's going to get on TV? I mean, just because you're there filming, I mean, it might make it might not. I mean, have you?
Oh, well, it's always going to go on Amazon and Tubi, that's for sure. It's always going to go on that, and we're always going to promote, and we do a lot of advertising, because we're trying to brand the show. So regardless, it's a win for them. They get like free advertising that you can't beat. You know what I mean? So regardless of whatever, it's always anybody that films with us is definitely going to at the very least get Amazon and Tubi, and and hopefully more.
What are some of, let's talk a little bit about some of the highlights too. Like,
Okay.
what are some of the highlights of your filming that you've experienced? I mean, the moments that made you guys feel really good, that made you laugh a lot. Tell us about some of the cosplayers that you met. Have you heard anybody's backstory? Like, like, I come here to do this haunt because, my brother was into this, but he's not here anymore, so I'm here doing it for him. Do you hear anything like? Do you hear any stories like that?
There was a guy at Overload that said that. I think somebody, was it his dad or somebody passed away that used to haunt there, and so he haunts there now. There's a lot of amazing stories. There's people that have this one kid that comes to mind. Joey, he said he was autistic and it helped him, because he doesn't really, can't really relate to people and he can't deal with people very well. So this all helped him. And they all say, I think just about every haunt we go to, when you interview people, they say it's like a family. It's like a family, right? We're like, and they become their family and their friends and a place to go and a place where they're welcomed. Because it's like me. I mean, they're all just a bunch of freaks like me, So it's one place that they can go where they just feel really at ease and everything that they do is fine. You know what I mean? And they can scream at people and they can get out their aggravation from that day. Maybe they had a rough day at work and they can be like, wah! And this one girl said, sometimes she'll just yell anything at people like, I have those shoes too, stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that would actually scare the hell out of me if I'm walking down the aisle and all of a sudden this creature jumps out there and says, "Are those my shoes?"
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the really cool thing. Met some incredible artists, some incredible people. And go back to Kim just because I know she's here, right? She's like, I've never met anybody like Kim in my life except maybe my dad. And the reason why I say that she's like my dad, she's not at all. But the reason why I say my dad will do weird things and be like, I can do this. This doesn't apply to me. Like she's crazy. She's like my dad in that way, like really eccentric and just full of life. And yeah, but we met some really cool people. I think I met people when I interviewed them, like I think Jim from Field of Screams, that I feel like when I met them and I interviewed them and I spend the day with them, you feel like you know them all your life. They're just amazing people. And you just hit it off. You have this rapport, right? And you're like, this is awesome. I love this person,
Do you like interviewing people? Is that the big hook for you? Is a chance to talk to these people that are doing the haunts and
I love to interview freaks. I like the really weird people, the really fun people, the artistic people. I love artists. I like eccentric people. I like, out of the norm. I think I really like that. I
How
really
do you
like that.
how do you how do you find the people that you interview? I mean, there's
Oh, I
200
just come up
people
to
out
them.
there's 200 people out there.
Oh,
So
you
how
just
do
come
you
up and you also can look in their eye. If somebody's staring at you, there's a certain look that they look at you like, "I want you to talk to me. Please talk to me." And you just have this so you just, you know, and if
what
I
about the
miss
ones that
somebody
look at you and say, I want to drink your blood? What about those?
that sometimes can be funny too, though. Sometimes that can be funny. Um, yeah, I guess what the kick for me is the whole thing. I mean, I do really like meeting everyone, and I like the owners too. The owners have a
Mhm.
lot of information, and Rich from Brighton Asylum, what a great talker he is. He's like a collector. He collects things like movie memorabilia, and he opened up a little thing in his on his haunt of a little and I know Kim collects too. She has a little area too behind a fence. There's a lot of collectors with this, but I know with Rich, he had a bunch of stuff, uh Rich Gonchi, and he sold some of it to open his haunt. That's how he opened his haunt. He sold some of his collectibles. He had like stuff from Men in Black, and I'm just trying to think of off the top of my head. He had all different things. And what he has left, he made a little museum that you walk through where you actually hit a button and it will tell you what it is, like so you don't have to have a person in there. They'll be like, "This is the jacket from this thing," or whatever. This is pretty cool. There's all different kinds of people that do it. Then there's the only haunt owners, and I'm not mentioning any names, I will say, that are different. I love the ones with the passion, the artists, the people like that, the collectors. But then there's the other haunt owners that are just doing it for the money. They're
Oh,
like,
that's
and
but
that's
that
the
comes
ones
but
I'm
that
like,
comes but
this
that comes
sucks.
across. That's like that would be like a Ebrius, the one I was telling you earlier, because
Mhm.
every year they come out and and it's like you can sort of sense that it's sort of a corporate thing. There's no passion
No
behind it.
passion. They just go, "Hey, I bought this building, and I'm gonna make a shitload, ton of money, and I'm gonna make a ton of money, and I'm just gonna put a bunch of expensive stuff in here, and I don't care. I don't care about making stuff. I don't care about art. I don't care about collecting things. I don't care about horror movies. I'm just going to do that." And so I'm not mentioning any names, but those are the ones that I'm like not that crazy about interviewing or
And
talking to.
people talk too, right? I mean, it's not like it's if people find out. I mean, people tell you guys that like do you get like heads up from some of the scare actors that sit there and say, yeah, this might not be a really good place for you to to go to
Not
because of
really.
that corporate
Not
feel.
really. Not really. We kind of find out for ourselves. And even if there's a show on it, say if somebody else did a show on it, I usually won't watch it unless I've been there already, because I don't want it to uh, take away my surprises, or also I don't want to have preconceived notions, because who knows? They might think this, but maybe I won't think that. So I'll just go. Like I'll just go. I really don't nobody's ever said anything bad about any place like that. It's
It is too bad there are people that are cynical that are just looking at this pure as a cash grab, because
there's money in it.
I think it's sort of archaic now. I really
Yeah.
do. I mean, I think 10, 15 years ago, I think that attitude was prevalent, but I don't think that's so far today. I think a lot of these haunts that are coming up there and a lot of people are working these places, it's far more of a passionate thing for
Yeah.
them to do than it was 10, 15 years ago. That's what makes us haunts to me. That's what makes them. That's what drives them. That's what makes them so cool because that generates a lot of positivity. People are they're learning a skill. I mean, like I said, there's no longer just putting a pillowcase over your head and saying, "I'm here. I'll go scare somebody." No, you got to know makeup. You get a lot of how many of these people actually make their costumes?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't go to a closet and pick out okay, you're a pirate tonight, or you're a zombie tonight. Now they have the sorry about that, Zon. You're now you make your costume, you show up in it, you take care of it. You basically have become an actor on the set, and there's a lot of passion and drive there. I think
Some of
that's what,
the
and that's what
actors, like they make their whole scene. They're allowed to, like at Kim's, Eric Rudd, makes his own costume, mask, and he makes his own own scene, the whole room, and he'll change it every year. He'll change it up and change the whole situation. It's crazy.
Oh my god. Now, what other haunts besides Penhurst? What other haunts? I mean, is that your, is that? I mean, I'm gonna put you on the spot here,
Okay.
but what has been your favorite place that you guys covered so
Uh,
far?
well, like I don't want to say, but like I just said, I will really go for me personally. I know it scares me. And there's some that are just beautiful, gorgeous, and I love that. That's
Right.
nice. To walk into a haunted fairy tale, and it's still gonna be scary. I love that, but my real favorites are the real gross, disgusting, where they touch your hair and your ankles, like I was saying before. Those, so I don't wanna name any names, but those are the
Uh-huh.
ones I like that are really gross, because 'cause I'll just freak out. Because to
Well,
me, that's just really scary.
I wonder, has that ever happened where you reacted so bad that Rich has lost his shit behind the camera and you guys have to redo this the walk? Like
No,
he's
he never gets
filming you,
scared. He doesn't
he's
care.
watching you get scared, scared, like holy cow, you have to
He
cut and go
doesn't
back and say
care. He'll
now you
just
have
do
to
it for the shot. The thing about Rich is he never gets scared in there, because you know why? He's concentrating, like, is this right? Is this right? Is this thing right? Is this thing right? Is this what's the thing? He's like just concentrating on making sure that he's got the shot. So he doesn't even care. And if and like, this one guy, Dewey, picked me up and threw me in a cage and threw me over his shoulder, and that wasn't supposed to happen. And I totally freaked out. But Rich is just like, oh, whatever.
did he know that that wasn't supposed to happen, or he was like,
Yeah, he knew it wasn't
oh,
supposed to happen. He don't care. He's
oh.
like, whatever. He knows I'm not gonna like die or anything, you know?
Well, I mean, do you ever have to reset? Like, if let's say you walk down, a blooper, so to speak. Have you ever had to walk down through a scene or what have you, and maybe you have to go back there and reshoot the scene or shoot
Oh,
coverage for it?
well, not just that, we just do it 3 times because it's, so edited that the reason why we do that is we don't do a full walkthrough. We don't wanna spoil it for the haunt owner, and we don't wanna spoil it for the customer, right? And I know
Right.
that they change things up a lot every year, but we just don't wanna spoil it. So what the thing is, everything's out of sequence, right? So when we shoot it 3 times, it'll be like this reaction, this reaction, this reaction, and this monster, and if you go different days, right, there might be some different actor in the same exact place that wasn't there last time. So you get like all kinds of shots, and it's all clipped in. That's why it takes so long to edit. It's like craziness editing.
I can. How long does it usually take to
About a
edit a
month or
show?
2 to do one show. It takes about
Yeah.
150 hours to do one show. It's a lot of work, and,
Wow.
Rich bitches about it all the time. He's like, "This is so hard. This is so much work. Nobody realizes how hard this is. It's really hard."
Don't worry, Rich. We know. We appreciate it. We do.
It's like, "No one knows. This is"
Actually, I think a lot of the YouTubers out there, they're probably going
Yeah, they
like,
probably
"Oh,
realize how hard it is.
we feel your pain. You are not alone, my brother. You have allies."
I'm trying to learn how to edit, but it is hard, and I won't be able to do it. Because okay, before he was doing this show, he was doing a motorcycle show called Too Wells to Anywhere. So he already had a lot of experience. He's been editing for about 15 years. Not He did take a little break. He does music as well. So the thing is he already had that knowledge, you know, and that's why it's edited for TV. It's not just like, you know what I mean? But that's how come he knows what he's doing. But I'm trying to learn it, and it's like from square one. It's so frustrating. It's like it's really hard. Even jump cuts and everything. It's really difficult.
I just want to let you guys know I'm gonna drop the Instagram page
Oh,
for
please, I need help with that.
yes.
Add me
We
on
want
Instagram. I'll add you back.
Uh, we're going to drop that here, and then here is Spooky Kisses Instagram page. I want you guys all to go over there and follow them, and also go over on top of the chat. If you go scroll to the top of the chat, there's a link to the Spooky Kisses Haunts Facebook page. It's over 87,000 strong, so go over there and make your voice heard. And then if you want to go and join the Spooky Kisses Instagram army, I'm going to drop that here.
Also add the Tubi link so they can watch us for free.
Yes,
You have
I
it?
put the Tubi link down
Okay,
below for the show.
sure.
You guys can do that as well. And Mighty Casey has already saved me. Thank you so much. All right. Uh, uh, now, do you ever see? I'm going to ask this question for our good friend Casey. Now, what are some of the most elaborate costumes that you've seen at some of these haunts? Did people ever dress up like monsters, like Godzilla or Gigant or stuff like that?
A lot of these places, they don't make their own costumes. Like I know Overload, they make their own costumes and they're amazing. There's a girl, she's in the graveyard and she comes to mind. She has these wings that she presses a button and they open up and she looks kind of like a statue and she's got like blood tears coming down. She's really cool. And she made her own costume, I think, except for the wings. I think she got them from London. But there are some amazing, but then in other places, they will tell them what to wear. Like they'll have a whole costume department and they'll just say, here, wear this or whatever. And yeah, but there's some really, really cool ones, but that one comes to mind. And then I think it at Penhurst, there was something, he was almost like a robot guy and he was a really big guy too. He was like 6 something. So his costume, like he looked like some kind of, weird robot thing. And I think it was there or could have been at Eloise.
Did,
Yeah,
did,
there's
did
some
he
amazing.
did he look like a space chicken?
Not really.
Okay.
Just look like some kind of robot, like huge
I just
robot.
had to ask because if you would have said yes, I wouldn't know who it was.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's right.
I know that guy.
What's been your favorite costume that you've seen? That the one that just like stood out for you with the robot
No, probably
or
that angel. Just that was so
ooh.
beautiful. I mean, it was scary, but it was beautiful. She just comes to my mind from Haunted Overload. That was so
Man,
pretty. I
that
mean,
would be
sometimes they have live snakes, and I shouldn't say this, but I don't like snakes. And at Kim's, this girl had a snake, a real snake, her pet, but that was freaky. Because I'm not into snakes, and they really freak me out. And I
no.
shouldn't say that because now people will come up to me with snakes all the time. They'll be like, "Look at this!"
Isn't that the case? Isn't
Yeah,
that
they'll
the
be
case?
like, look at, I got a snake."
Now, all of a sudden, now on the Facebook page is going to be nothing but people posting snakes.
Yeah,
It's like,
but
don't
I
do
don't
that.
mind if it's a
Don't
picture, but
be
if it's the real thing, the real snake. That's when I'm kind of like,
right.
ooh, you know.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. So, now you guys are are you in pre-production for the new season? Do you
Oh,
have your next?
post-production. Post-production, that means, like, we filmed it all. We filmed for
Okay.
season 2, so we have 12 episodes that we're working on, and, that should be out. A lot of them will be out this fall, and,
Okay. So
and
you shot one's on the books, and this is season 2 that you're just now getting ready to launch.
right, right.
Okay, I thought you had 2 seasons down and you're
No, we
launching.
have 8 episodes up on Amazon and Tubi, and,
Mhm.
so this is the 2nd season that's coming out.
Okay, okay. And but I'm sure you're already on the drawing board. I'm sure you're
Oh,
already
sure.
starting looking for the season
Oh,
3.
sure. Yeah.
Do you have any haunts picked out, that you can mention, or do you wanna keep
Oh,
that underneath your hat?
uh, oh, I'm getting a head shake over here, so I guess we can't say. I'm getting a head shake.
Okay, how about this? How about this? What states will you be traveling to? You can say the
Oh.
states without
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I really would like to go to Ohio, but we haven't even really started. I think in June is when we start mapping it out and we decide where we're going to go and really make it final. June or July, and that's
mm,
when we got to make that final. And we got to get ready to have it solid
yeah.
where we're going. You
So
know.
so so you shoot the season, then you edit it, and then and I just want people to understand how much work has gone into this.
Oh, yeah.
It is like our friend Kevin, who I'm actually surprised he's not here.
You can watch it in
Haunted by
replay.
Horror. Yes, and shout out to Kevin, Haunted by Horror, Kevin. He said that basically that the day after Halloween, for haunts, they start planning for the next year.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how it is with you when you like when you even though after you shoot your season's haunts and you come back home, but do you automatically start thinking about, okay, I'm going to be editing this, but I'm already starting to think about the next year. Like, is
Yes
that a
and no, because we're exhausted. We're
right?
like, we just wanna pass out. We get home, we're on the road for 30 days like a band, and then we're just like, "Ugh."
You guys need a couple of interns, is what you need.
I guess I'm just what if they drive me crazy?
Well,
What if they're not helpful and they just that's the problem. But yeah, it's a thought. It's a thought. It's a
I
thought.
mean, I think it's just something I think that, I mean, I think word of mouth would help, you interview them just like you would anybody else.
I suppose
Yeah.
so. The problem is the travel. It'd almost be easier if, say, there was an intern that was already in Ohio or already somewhere or already in Florida. You know what I mean? And then we could just,
That's
say,
actually,
okay, all you got to do is make people
that's
sign
not
the
that
release forms and stuff like
right.
that.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's what I sort of thought about. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what
Um,
happens.
yes, yeah, that's right, that's right. We will take a last round of questions for our guest, Spooky Kisses. If you have questions, including on Facebook, I will go ahead. Oh, and everybody is
Any more?
sharing you out. Thank you so much. Um, uh, uh, Everybody's already sharing you out. Casey's sharing you out. Jason Rhodes is. Thank you, Jason. I see you there. Thank you for sharing us out. Tommy mentions that Legendary Tour is in Ohio this year.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Legendary Haunt Tour. So,
What is
the
that?
Legendary Haunt Tour is a tour that they do through Transworld. And Transworld, remember, I was telling you, it's like the big conventions and stuff. So, what they do is they pick like 3 haunts and then they do it a little after Halloween, right? So, all the haunters, the owners and stuff, they can go on a bus or they meet down there and then they have a bus that goes around to these 3 haunts. But we filmed at Overload during the Legendary Haunt Tour, and also what's the name of it? Barrett's Haunted Mansion, right? But the thing about it is, and we also filmed other days too. Like we went there on a regular day, and then we come back and do the Legendary Haunt Tour, so we get an extra day of filming, right? But then everybody's so stressed out because they're like, "Oh, our peers are going to be here, and they're like everything's going to be perfect," and so they have no like the first day when we go there on a normal day, they got lots of time for us, but then they don't have time for us. We still do our thing because we're pretty self sufficient, but also the other weird thing about it is the only one screaming inside there is me because it's all the haunt owners and they're like, how is this made? How is this made? They're just going like this. Ooh, ooh,
And
ooh.
you still got that wonderment, like
Well,
you
I'm freaking out,
love that.
and I'm the only
Yeah,
one who can hear me scream for miles. I'm the only one screaming, and so that's why we decided that we probably won't do film at a Legendary Haunt Tour again, only because it's a different atmosphere. Like when you have the regular crowd and it's all a bunch of like, uh, you know, like just people freaking out and being, rowdy and, or whatever. So I think it's a better filming experience. I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting. But the reason why we ended up doing that was it gave us extra days of filming. I forgot
right.
to mention Lewis, he's an amazing artist at Darkwood, right? Darkwood. I just wanted to give a shout out to this guy. This guy, he does different stuff because him and also Red Vein, they do something different. They write like this whole story, right? And even though you're a regular person, you don't know what the hell's going on. There's still a story that goes on their
Um,
website, like this whole book, right? And it's like this whole story, the haunt, what's happening in there, and something like that. It's like it's almost like a murder mystery thing, but scary. It's really weird. And then Red Vein wasn't like a murder mystery. It was like this whole story, like long story drawn out, and every year they change it. So it's kind of weird, but I did want to give a shout out to Lewis because he's a really, really amazing artist. And I think he's also a really, really cool person. He's really sweet. That was the last haunt we did on Halloween. And yeah, it was pretty cool. And we like him. We like the artists, the people that really, that's amazing. That's wicked. Love it.
that is so cool. I totally, yeah. It's so much fun. That's so much fun. I think you have one of the best jobs going today, and you and Rich made such a you guys made such a great team together.
We
and
do.
you know,
People don't even know we're together because when we're there, we're so professional. Like we hardly talk. Like we're not like ooh ooh.
right.
Like people don't even know. People don't even know. They're like, are you like, are you together
Are
or
you, are you,
like? Because
oh gosh,
we
has
just
that
got the
happened?
cameras, and he's like the camera, this and this, focus, 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 and I'm
Has
like
that,
just doing my thing, you know.
has that happened? Have you been? That's a weird
Yeah,
question to ask, but
people have
have
asked,
they hit upon?
are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys together or yeah, like yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
funny. It's funny.
Um, listen, I am so tickled. I cannot wait. I'm gonna be sinking my teeth. I know everybody else is too. I know everybody's gonna be sinking their teeth into the Tubi and watching this series and watch it all the way through. And I'm gonna say this too is when you do watch these shows on Tubi or Amazon or what have you, and there are ads on them. Watch the ads. It
Oh,
helps
thank you. Yeah, it
it helps
helps.
it helps Spooky and the show. I know you're inclined to want to click through them, but please don't do that.
I don't think
Um,
you can on Tubi. I don't think you can click
I
through.
think you can on
Yeah.
I know you can on YouTube. You can do that, and I think you can do that on Facebook as well, and who knows what else. Um, but watch the ads. It helps you guys out.
Definitely.
Listen,
Definitely.
I want to thank you for coming out and hanging out.
Oh, it was awesome. It was
Yeah,
awesome. Oh,
I.
what's that? What's happening?
Did you lose?
Something's happening. I don't know what's what.
Oh,
Ah!
oh. Quick, Paladin, to the Batcave. Help! Someone help Spooky. Oh my God, look out. She's being assaulted by a cop.
Help!
Uh-oh, that's it. Oh boy. Well, I don't know about you guys, but me and the cheetah, we'll be meeting the owl and the cat dad. We're on our way to do a rescue. We're on our way. Salem's not that far away. Spooky spirit. Uh, Thank you guys so much for tuning in for that. Hopefully, Spooky will be okay. I do think that she has enough skills to. She possesses great skills to overcome her attacker there. Uh, yeah. Oh, look at that. There it is. The cat. That's right. Pig saw. Pig saw. Uh-oh. Someone rescue Spooky. Rich, activate your Wonder Twin power. All right. This is thank you so much for coming out. And yeah, see, we didn't script that, by the way. Just let you know that this is for real. I had nothing to do with that. I promise you. But thank you guys for coming out and supporting the show. We will be back next Tuesday. We'll be back for Tuesday, and we'll be having the Friendly Men will be here with us on 8 Questions With. If you're new to my channel and you're on YouTube, please consider giving us a sub. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and the same thing goes for Spooky Kisses. Please support them as they bring us the finest and haunts around the country. I appreciate it. All right, everybody, you guys stay safe. Mr. Dan and Horror will be on at 10 o'clock. If you scroll up, you'll see him in there. You can go over there, and he'll be going live here shortly. For everybody else, thanks so much. We'll see you Sunday night for the ISC Midnight Show. Take care and have a great night. Peace.